Hello everybody. I want to talk to you about something I get asked about a lot about training. Usually it's about an Ironman event or a marathon event, a half Ironman event, but a multiple hour event, people will ask this question. They'll ask about nutrition. What do I do about nutrition? And they're usually asking about that, what are they doing about nutrition on race day? I'm real quick to chit chat about them. It's not any different than what you do in your training. If you're out on a multiple hour run, something longer than an hour, you need to be practicing what you're going to do on race day. If you're riding your bike for multiple hours, you need to be practicing what you're doing on race day. Now, it's not as critical in some of those trainings, perhaps, because as soon as you get done with an hour and a half run, maybe then you go fill up on hydration and sodium and carbs and that kind of stuff, and you're able to recover and so forth, and you don't notice the downside of this. But if you're going to be out there for a 4-5 hour marathon, and we're just using numbers here to extrapolate what's going on, your first hour is going to be great. Up to your second hour is going to be just fine. It's going to be harder work. But then you get into that third, that fourth hour where you're under on hydration, you're under on sodium, you're under on calories, and your body is just not going to perform. I like to use the analogy of gas in your tank. You only put 2 gallons of gas in your tank and you're trying to go 100 miles. You're probably not going to make it very far. You're not going to make it that duration very far. You're going to have to work a lot harder to make that car reach that distance, and it probably won't reach that distance. So let's talk about this. What really needs to happen? We can guess. Most people, depending on your body weight, you're looking at between 16 and 48 ounces of water an hour. Most people underestimate how much water they really need, how much that they're losing with each hour of fitness. An easy way to calculate that: weigh yourself before an hour workout, weigh yourself again after the hour workout. If you drank something in there, then you're going to add that to the amount that you lost. Here's an example. If I started a workout and I weigh 210, I don't drink anything. When I come back in after an hour workout and I weigh 206, I lost 4 pounds. 4 times 16 is 64 ounces. In that situation, I would need 64 ounces of fluid, of water, per hour that I'm working out. Anything under that, and I'm going to be losing hydration. I'm going to be losing the amount of water that my body started with. There's some research out there that talks about percentages of body weight loss until it affects your performance. Usually we use the number 2%. So if you lose 2% of your body weight, your performance is going to go down. Obviously, if I'm at 4 pounds, 200 plus, I'm at that 2%. For that hour, maybe my performance doesn't go down, but anything after that, I'm now losing more than that. My performance is going to steadily continue to decline if I don't replenish that or maintain that during the workout. So that's a way to calculate how much you need. If during that hour of training, let's say I came in, I lost 4 pounds, but I had 24 ounces of fluid that I drank during that hour, well, it'd be the amount that I lost plus the amount that I consumed. Both those would be added together for how much hydration I would need per hour, okay? So most of us aren't going to need more than 64 ounces of fluid an hour. That's an extreme case, just to kind of get your attention. But what is your number? If you don't know that number, you're probably missing out on what you could be doing on multiple hour performance. Second, how many calories do you need? I don't know either. There's some stuff we can look at. What does your stomach tolerate? What does your body frame dictate? How many calories are you burning during that time? Most of us can be safe bringing in 200, 250 calories an hour. Some of us need up to 400 or 500 calories, sometimes more calories per hour to sustain that energy level. What your body size is, the intensity of your workout, what your stomach can tolerate, types of food that you can tolerate, those would all go into play to try to calculate that. I would tell you maybe start at 200 an hour in your training and see if that's enough calories ramping up. If we're working together, let's chit-chat a little bit more detailed instead of just starting at 200. Maybe we want to start a little higher if you're a larger sized individual. Just as important, sometimes more important, is how much sodium do you need. Now there's a lot of variability goes in this. I've had people tell me that they're salty sweaters, that they have a crusty piece, and then we do some testing and they really don't lose that much. Others tell me, hey, I'm not very salty, and they have a big loss of sodium. There's a test, it's a sweat analysis, if you will, where we'll collect some sweat while you're working out. We would do that hydration tests where weigh you before and after, see how much water you're losing. But at the same time, we would collect this sweat and have it analyzed, and it would tell us what the solution is, or the concentration of sodium for that amount of water is. How many milligrams of sodium do you need to replace per hour? I thought early on in my training career that I was getting a lot of sodium, and I was bringing in 2,000 calories per hour. I thought that was a lot. USDA says 1,500 milligrams per day. I was bringing in 2,000 an hour. I'm a salty sweater. I thought that was enough. I had the testing done. I found out that I'm closer to 35, almost 4,000 milligrams an hour. It's tough to get that much in. I would suggest that it's not impossible, but it's really hard to get enough calories to transport that much sodium, get enough fluid, and so forth. But that's where I'm at. When I started training closer to that, my performance felt so much better. My performances improved. My recovery time improved. When you've got the right amount of sodium in, the right amount of calories, the right amount of water, your performance is going to improve and your recovery time is going to improve. If you want to talk about this more, feel free to reach out to us here at PXP Endurance. We'll talk, we'll look at your specific situation, and we'll go from there.